Today is the launch day for Snowflake, and I've come here to Wren's nest to look for trilobites. Why have I come here? Because this is a world famous heritage site where lots of trilobites are to be found in the rubble of this quarry. The trilobites were so common in days gone by that they were called the Dudley bug, because Wren's nest is in Dudley. So I'm hoping to find one for later. In the meantime, I'm going to read you the trilobite extract from Snowflake. All you need to know in the book up to here is that Laurie, who's the main character in our book Snowflake, is staying in her brother's flat. She doesn't know it yet, but she's accidentally brought his fossil collection to life. The reason that she's been distracted from that is she's been overindulging in a sensual oil massage with her boyfriend Ashbert. They've used a bit too much oil. Everything was covered in oil. My hands, my feet, the floor. I got my hand flat on the floor, but when I shifted my weight, it skated out from under me. I was completely marooned, and Ashbert wasn't helping at all, as he was doing the same as me, but he'd managed to mix blood into the oil from his nosebleed. We were like a couple of seals flopping up and down. I tried something different. I wriggled forward on my belly like a snake. It worked! "Follow me! Try doing this," I called. From the wet slurping noises, I could tell that he too was making his way along the floor. From above, we must have resembled an alien invasion of hopeless slugs. An evolutionary dead end if ever there was one. I slithered along the short section of corridor and into the bathroom, Ashbert behind me. The radiator in the bathroom was shaped like a ladder, so that you could put towels onto it, and I aimed for it with a view to hanging on and dragging myself upright. I was almost there when a creature scuttled out from behind the toilet and ran across my hand. It was an indescribable horror! That's not true. It was a reasonably describable horror. Part crab, part beetle. Kind of like an armadillo that had been forced through a small letterbox. More than anything, it resembled a giant woodlouse with extra legs that rippled weirdly when it moved. I screamed. I don't mean I shouted, I mean I sodding screamed. Holy buggering fucksticks! I slithered backwards as fast as I could. Of course I collided with Ashbert, who had no idea what I was yelling about, and simply got a face full of my arse. "Giant fucking insect thing!" I screamed. I turned round and part climbed, part slid over the top of him, as he wasn't moving fast enough for my liking. "Wow, I wonder what it is," he said. "I don't care what it is, it was trying to eat my face," I said, slowing up. Now I was outside the bathroom. "It doesn't look dangerous," said Ashbert, shortly followed by, "Wah!" The creature appeared, scurrying over his head and down his back. It was heading straight for me again. So I developed a new way of moving. I did a variant of the butterfly swimming stroke. Without water, of course, flinging my arms out and levering myself along the floor. I'd have bruises to show for it later, but I wasn't hanging around to let the insectoid vampire suck out my eyeballs or whatever it wanted to do. I crashed along the floor into the kitchen, where I finally managed to haul myself to my feet. I grabbed a tea towel and tried to wipe some of the oil off me, and then I tipped everything out of the pedal bin so that I could use it to trap the demon insectoid. I didn't want to touch the thing, so I grabbed a sieve as well. I advanced, a naked warrior with my strange domestic weapons. Ashbert was squealing unhelpfully, going on about how he could feel all its little legs when it ran over him. I closed my mind to everything except the task at hand. The creature was in the corridor. It was butting the wall on either side. Maybe looking for a hiding place. I put the bin on its side, hoping that it might just look like an attractive cave or something. It would save me a lot of bother if the thing would just run inside, as I didn't really want to get hands-on with it. It ran off in the opposite direction. I cursed lightly and followed it. It ran to a corner and scrabbled ineffectually at the wall. I put the bin down, making sure it was open, advanced with my sieve, and in one smooth movement I scooped it up and swung it into the bin. "Yes!" I shouted, jubilant at my skillful manoeuvre. "Oh no!" shouted Ashbert, who still hadn't managed to stand, but who emerged from the bathroom as quickly as a prone, slithering man could. "There's another one!" "Balls, there is!" I cried in terrified disbelief, but he was right. They were everywhere. Is this the way the world ends, I thought? Consumed by killer woodlice? That would be a crap apocalypse. I'd rather have the asteroid any day. In the end, I repeated my patented sieve-to-pedal movement another 3 times. I sank exhausted onto the bathroom floor after the last one. There was a lot of cleaning up to do, but right now I was worried about these creatures and where they might have come from. There was something about them that was oddly familiar, but I couldn't quite place it. I checked the whole flat for further intruders, making sure there weren't any more insects that might pop out. When I got over to the front door and looked at the box of fossils that were still there, it came to me why those insects looked familiar. They were the same size and shape as the fossils. I turned over one of Adam's rocks, and now there was no fossil. It was just a rock. The others were the same. I counted them, 4 in all. 4 fossils that were now rocks, and 4 weird insects in the pedal bin. "Phone Adam, please, computer," I said. "Calling Adam." "Sound only, no video," I shouted as Lexi put the call through. I was still naked after all. Moments later I heard the sound of Adam's phone ringing out. "Yes," came his voice. "Adam, you know your rocks?" "I think I do," he said. "Igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic, and a good afternoon to you, Laurie, or whatever time it is there. Your rocks, Adam, the fossils." "You are taking care of them, aren't you?" he said, suddenly concerned. "Sure, because there's a really rare Enosuchus in one of them." Emosucker? Is that the one with the stripy shell and too many legs? No, the Enosuchus was an amphibian. You're thinking of the trilobites. Right, trilobites. And I don't suppose there are many live trilobites these days. Live? Lord no, Laurie. They were wiped out in the Great Permian extinction. "Of course," I said breezily as 4 of them rustled round in the bin. In fact, I delivered a lecture in Atlanta about the clathrate gun hypothesis as the main cause of the mass extinction. Someone shot them. No, silly. I was going to use those fossils for a similar series of talks when I do the Volga cruises in October. You haven't broken them, have you? "No," I said, uncertainly. My mind was whirling with an odd new sense of responsibility. If these were the only trilobites in the world, I couldn't let them die. "What sort of thing did they like to eat?" I asked. "Trilobites, Laurie? I'm about to do a piece to camera for a documentary series on Peruvian mummies. What on earth? Lettuce? Maybe?" I tried. "Maybe they like to nibble on a carrot." "Jesus, Laurie, are you high? Trilobites were marine creatures. They would never come across lettuce or carrots," he sighed. "There's arguments about what they would eat. Nobody really knows. Those ones of mine probably lived in the muddy ooze, so it's thought they ate worms." "Worms, right, got it," I said. "Listen, I really need to go now, Laurie." "Sure, go and do your thing, Adam."